Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News, broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, the Iranian proxy Hezbollah launches barrages of missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles at Israel on the first day of Passover. Qatar asserts that its decision to host Hamas leaders in Doha was made in coordination with the United States. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant tells IDF troops to prepare for the missions ahead, as operational plans are approved by Jerusalem. The Iranian proxy Hezbollah continues to launch dozens of rockets and missiles from Lebanese territory toward Israel repeatedly, while in response the Israeli Air Force has successfully targeted two separate Hezbollah commanders who've been responsible for the terror group's aerial defense array. And while aerial strikes against Hezbollah infrastructure seemingly intensified since the alleged Israeli retaliatory strike against Iran, tens of thousands of Israelis remain displaced from their respective homes along Israel's northern border with Lebanon.
בגבול הצפון, תקפנו השבוע מטרות של ארגון הטרור חיזבאללה, בהן תשתיות של מערך ההגנה האווירית של הארגון בעומק לבנון. אנחנו ערים לקושי הרב שאיתו מתמודדים תושבי הצפון הנמצאים זמן רב כל כך הרחק מבתיהם. אנחנו נחושים להמשיך לפגוע בחיזבאללה, לדחוק אותו צפונה ולייצר מציאות ביטחונית שתאפשר את החזרה של תושבי הצפון לבתיהם בביטחון.
Alongside efforts to force Hezbollah to retreat from the border region with Israel in accordance with UN Security Council Resolution 1701, the IDF, in close cooperation with the ISA and Border Police Special Operations Units, have ratcheted up operational activities throughout the West Bank districts of Judea, Samaria, and the Jordan Valley, with chief focus on the Palestinian city of Tulkarem. Admiral Hagari further announced that the IDF Chief of General Staff, Lieutenant General Herzia Levy, has approved plans for the continued fighting vis-a-vis the Islamist Hamas and its terror affiliates in the Gaza Strip, as preparations for the anticipated ground offensive into Rafah are ongoing.
בעזה השלמנו השבוע פעילות נוספת במרכז הרצועה נגד חמאס להשמדת תשתיות טרור ומחבלים כדי למנוע מחמאס לשקם את יכולותיו. כל העת יש כוחות הפועלים בתוך עזה לצד כוחות נוספים הנערכים למהלכים הבאים במלחמה. הרמטכ"ל היה היום בפיקוד הדרום ואישר את המהלכים הבאים למלחמה.
It is important to highlight that the plan to launch a comprehensive ground offensive into the last Hamas stronghold of Rafah has been made after the internationally designated terror group rejected terms for a hostage release deal in exchange for a temporary cessation of hostilities, a rejection which both the United States and Israel have deplored. Meanwhile, in a film statement ahead of last night's Passover Seder, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu highlighted Jerusalem's unrelenting commitment to the 133 hostages who've remained in Hamas captivity for the past 200 days.
בליל הסדר הזה ניצבים לנגד עינינו חטופינו בשבי החמאס. הסבל שלהם, הסבל של משפחותיהם, קורע את ליבנו ורק מחזק את נחישותנו להשיבם. איננו מרפים ולו לרגע מן המשימה הקדושה להחזיר אותם הביתה. לצערי, עד עכשיו, כל ההצעות לשחרור חטופינו נדחו על הסף על ידי החמאס. ולכן אמר בצדק מזכיר המדינה האמריקני, החמאס סירב לכל ההצעות שהוגשו לו. לדבריו, הדבר היחיד שמונע עסקה לשחרור החטופים הוא החמאס. במקום לסגת מעמדותיו הקיצוניות, החמאס בונה על פילוג בתוכנו. הוא שואב עידוד מהלחצים שמופנים כלפי ממשלת ישראל. וכתוצאה מכך, הוא רק מקשיח את תנאיו לשחרור חטופינו. הוא מכביד את ליבו, הוא מסרב לשלח את בני עמנו. ולכן, ננחית עליו מכות נוספות וכואבות, וזה יקרה בקרוב. בימים הקרובים נגביר את הלחץ הצבאי והמדיני על חמאס, כי זאת הדרך היחידה לשחרר את חטופינו ולהשיג את ניצחוננו.
It is important to know that according to the U.S. State Department, the reason Hamas rejected far-reaching concessions from Israel derived from the Islamist leadership's conviction that the region is on the verge of a full-fledged multi-sector war triggered by the latest hostilities of Iran versus Israel.
I think you heard the director of the CIA make those comments. The reason the secretary made the comments he did on Friday when he spoke to this at the meeting of the G7 foreign ministers is what you have seen over the past few weeks is Hamas move the goalposts. There are demands that they have made. Israel has moved some way to meeting those demands, and Hamas has then changed their demands. And so it certainly does seem like Hamas is more interested in a full-scale regional war, that they were watching the events of the past few weeks and making the determination that they might get the full-scale regional war they were hoping for, and so have not agreed to a very significant proposal that was on the table. And so we will continue to push for an agreement because we believe it's in the interests of Israel. We believe it's in the interests of the United States. We believe it's in the interests of the broader region. But it takes two to make an agreement. And right now, Hamas has signaled that they don't want an agreement.
Qatar, which hosted Hamas leadership since 2016 and has acted as a mediator in efforts to broker a ceasefire arrangement in exchange for the release of hostages in Hamas captivity, is now re-evaluating its role. The reason for Doha's re-evaluation of its mediation role stems from growing criticism over its inability to realize a deal despite its robust ties with Hamas. Nevertheless, when asked whether the Hamas office in Doha would be closed, Qatar's foreign ministry stressed that the Hamas office was in fact opened in coordination with the United States.
We have deep frustration with such statements, especially when they come out of officials who are part of the establishment and understand exactly what the Qatari role and what the Qatari coordination with the international community has been over the mediation and over its humanitarian role. And that is one of the reasons why we are now reassessing our role as mediators. Regarding the Hamas office here in Doha, this office was opened in coordination with the United States for the purpose of mediation between both sides. As long as their presence here in Doha, as we have always said, is useful and positive in this mediation effort, they will remain here in Doha. That said, of course, as we said, we are reassessing our role as mediators, but any decisions regarding this issue will not be taken unless we are finished with that reassessment and we are ready to convey the results of this reassessment.
It is important to highlight that Hamas is reportedly re-evaluating its own base of operations, with sources citing Oman and Turkey as potential hosts. Meanwhile, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh headed a senior delegation of his terror group to Ankara over the weekend, during the course of which he revealed that Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan officially recognized Hamas as a national liberation movement. Regarding the US-led and Qatari broker negotiations between Israel and the Islamist Hamas, the arch-terrorist seized the public stage in Turkey to reassert his Islamist group's demand for Israel to withdraw all of its forces from the Gaza Strip.
العدو الصهيوني حتى هذه اللحظة ورغم عشرات الجلسات وعشرات الأوراق المتبادلة عبر الوسطاء إلا أنه حتى هذه اللحظة لم يوافق على وقف إطلاق النار على قطاع غزة. كل ما يريده وأنه يريد استعادة أسرى ثم يستأنف الحرب على غزة، وهذا لا يمكن أن يكون. ثم هو يريد لحماس وللمقاومة أن توافق على خرائط لانتشار الجيش الإسرائيلي بحيث كأننا نشرعن احتلال القطاع أو جزء من القطاع، وهذا لا يمكن أن يتم. يجب أن يتم الانسحاب الكامل من قطاع غزة.
Turning to the border region of the Gaza Strip, where Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant met with troops of the 101st Paratroopers Battalion and emphasized the need to prepare for the missions ahead.
אני אומר לכם, יהיו משימות נוספות. ותערכו. זה יכול להיות בדרום, כאן בגזרה, וזה יכול להיות בצפון. תהיו מוכנים לכל הפעילויות, תנצלו את הזמן, יש לכם הרבה ניסיון, הרבה יותר מכל מי שהיה בעשרות השנים האחרונות במצב שלכם. כי נלחמתם, עברתם דרך הלחימה, בכל המקומות. וראיתם מהי הלחימה, ותמיד תזכרו שהמשימה הבאה נראית אחרת. זה לא אותו דבר. תוואי השטח משתנה, האויב מתנהג אחרת, אתם לומדים, גם הוא לומד. אתם מתארגנים, גם הוא מתארגן. לכן, תערכו לכל הדברים, תהדקו את כל הברגים בתוך המערכת, כל אחד, מהאפוד והשפצורים והשכפוצים האישיים, ועד לאיך הצוות עובד ביחד, איך משפרים יכולת וכושר, ואיך מתכננים. ובסוף, איך גם מבצעים את העניין הזה.
Minister Gallant went on to assert the privilege of being able to safeguard Israel's liberty in its ancestral homeland. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to encourage you, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. Moreover, if you're blessed by our productions, which are exclusively donation-based, as such broadcast free of charge, please consider making a donation. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. I'm Jonathan Hassan wishing you a Chag Pesach Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.